Virginia is inching closer to approving changes to history lessons at school.
But first, the Department of Education got an earful. One by one, critics complained their stories were being erased. Henry Graff was there for that heated meeting and tells us the reasons why Virginia's superintendent felt the need to apologize.
A majority of those here today saying they are against those proposed revisions, adding that they are concerned history lessons here in Virginia will take a step back. Thursday, dozens went before the State Board of Education to sound off on proposed changes to how history is taught inside the classroom. Some concerned Sikhism, the fifth largest religion in the world, would not get enough attention.
And for him, for his classmates to know about his history, about who he represents, is very important for his safety.
African Americans are concerned their stories and struggles would not get the attention they deserve.
In 2022, this isn't about improving the narratives in history. This is about suppressing people of color's voices.
And indigenous people are offended they were labeled as America's first immigrants.
And now I'm an immigrant in my own land? I'm not an immigrant. Not yet. I'm still here. I'm still here. How are you going to get off calling me an immigrant?
The state superintendent apologizing for the error.
The indigenous peoples of Virginia were here long before any other settlers or any other immigrants were here, and it was wrong to label them as immigrants in the standards document, and we will make sure that that is corrected.
The standards will set Virginia's expectations for student learning in history and social science, which are assessed through the standards of learning tests. Education officials point out the standards document discussed today is the first part in the process, and then they will work the fine print into the curriculum framework. On your side, Henry Graff, NBC 12 News.